Hey loves, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Jenny. So today's video is the cutting of this beautiful stylish corporate blouse. As you can see, it has an asymmetric hemline. So if this interests you, don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, like and share this video, and also remember to turn on your notification bell so that when I post a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you to my new and my returning subscribers. So let's get into it, guys. Welcome back again, so guys, I've gone ahead to rule out my horizontal lines as you can see on the screen. So from my shoulder I went down to my armhole length, which is the bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. From the shoulder again I went down by 10 inches for my bust point, 13 inches for my under bust, 17 inches for my half length. Then I added 8 inches extra for the hip length. Then I added another extra inches, which you can see on the screen, 2.5 inches. So that is how long my paper is. So I will advise you to add more inches, like about 4 to 5 inches, because of the asymmetry shape we have at that end. So after that, I'm going to just label out the lines. After doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to input my bust span, which is 3.5 inches, my nipple to nipple divided by 2. Then you connect the lines. So after connecting the lines, guys, the next thing I did is to mark 1 inch towards the center front, then 1.5 inches towards the side, because I am a bust of 36. Okay, so I'm using bust 36 for this pattern drafting. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to connect all the lines together, as you can see what I'm doing. So after doing that, guys, now the next thing I'm going to do is to also mark it on the under bust line. So you can see I'm taking it all the way to the top length. So after doing that, guys, the next thing is to just connect from the bust point all the way to the under bust with a curve, just like this. So for the neck width, I'm going to be using a neck width of 3 inches. I'm also going to use a neck width of 2.5 inches, as you can see, because this is a turtleneck. It is a turtleneck line, so we want it to be high a bit. So after that, connect your shoulder slope. Then you divide your bust by 4. After doing that, divide your under bust by 4 and place it there, and also divide your waist measurement by 4 and place it on the half length. Go down to your hip length and divide your hip measurement by 4 and place it. So after placing all these points, you are going to just connect them together. Okay, so whatsoever you have at your hip area is what you are going to use at the bottom part of this blouse. Then I came down by 1 inch, which is going to serve as the bust dart, because this is a blouse. Okay, so 1 inch is okay. So I'm going to transfer all this to the other side of the paper. So after transferring it, guys, this is what we have. So I'm going to just label this the left and the right, like so. So after doing this, guys, from the chest line, I'm going to go up by 2.5 inches towards the left side, okay, of this paper. So just watch what I'm doing. Towards the armhole area of the left side, I went up by 2.5 inches, and I'm just going to connect it all the way to my bust span. As you can see, that we have at that area. So after connecting it, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to take out ½ inch at both sides of the line, and I'm going to just create my dart on that part. So after creating the dart, I discovered this part is a little bit high, so I decided to just make it 2 inches. So that is to say I went up by 2 inches instead of 2.5. okay, so towards the right side, I also went up by 3 inches from the chest line. Just watch what I'm doing, just like this. Then you're just going to connect this part like a princess dart bustier. Okay, so you can see, so on that part also I'm going to take ½ inch at both sides of that line, which is going to give me the darts at the armhole area for the princess dart. So we are just going to connect all the points like this. Just watch what I'm doing, okay, just like this. So this is not new to us. If you have been drafting a princess dart bustier, this should not be a new thing for you. So after doing that, on the lower dart leg, I'm going to just extend this by 1.5 inches. So I always advise soulmates to always have excess at that part instead of having shortage at that area. So then go ahead and connect your new armhole. So I'm going to just use my marker to highlight all this so that you guys will be able to see it clearly. Okay, so after doing this, guys, this is what we are having now. So towards the left side, just watch what I'm doing. I'm going to be creating like an S. Okay, just mark like an S the shape at that part. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to take it all the way like this. So after doing this and you are sure of what you are having, so just go ahead and use your marker and highlight this. Okay, so make sure you do this properly and neatly. You can see what I'm having at this part. You can see. So I've always advised you to make use of your pen. So after your pen, you can just go ahead and use your marker when you are sure of what you've gotten. Okay, so after that, you can see what we have now. I'm going to just label this part the pink and this part the purple. Okay, so after doing that, now towards the left side, I'm going to extend the armhole area like this. Because of that shortage we have, you can see that I'm going to just replace the darts towards the armhole area. So that is going to form a new armhole curve for us again at that part. Okay, so after doing that, now I'm going to just work on the lower part of this dress. So don't forget to mark out your shoulder dart, and remember the neck depth we use is 2.5 inches. After doing that, the next thing to do is to work on the lower part of this blouse. As you can see, so towards the side at the right area, I'm going to go down by 5.5 inches. So if your blouse length is longer than mine, go down by 6 inches. Then at the midpoint towards the right side, I will go out like this by 1 inch. So just go out like this by 1 inch from the midpoint. Okay, like this. From the waistline at the midpoint, come down by 2 inches. You can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to connect the points together like this. Towards the left side, I also went down by 5.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go up from this 2.5 inches. I went down after the hip area, I went up by 1 inch. Okay, then after going up by 1 inch from the midpoint again, I went out by 1 inch. That is from the midpoint towards the left side, I went out by 1 inch. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, please just watch what I'm doing, or you can just replay this. Okay, that is why it's called a video. So after doing that, now I'm going to just join all these dots together, and I'm going to just connect the points together so that it can give us this asymmetric shape we have at this bottom part. Okay, so just make sure you join the dots together so that everything is going to align properly. So you can see what I'm doing, trying to connect these other parts. So after connecting the other side, you are going to also close these dots at this end so that you can connect these other parts of the shape like so. So guys, after connecting, you can see what we have at the lower part. So by the time we cut out the dart and we join it together, you are going to see the shape properly. Okay, at this end, I'm going to just highlight these parts, just highlight all the part that is going to be needed. And after doing that, guys, I'm going to just cut this pattern out. As you are cutting, please don't forget to close your bust dart. This is very necessary. Remember, we took out just 1 inch as the bust dart. Okay, so you're just going to close this, because if you don't close it, it's actually going to affect the back pattern. And also make sure you mark out all the shortage you have at that area. You go ahead and cut it out. So just watch the way I'm cutting it out. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby. So guys, after cutting it out, I'm going to just hold this part with my sellotape so that you guys will be able to see the asymmetric shape we have at the bottom part. So guys, you can see what we have at this lower part. So that is why I ask you to extend that part so that you can have it longer, that sharp part at the bottom part, so you can just have it longer, okay, than mine. But you can see mine is still okay. I think it's still okay like this. So the length is still okay for me, and this is what we have. So by the time you join all the parts together, you are going to have it looking like the one we have on the thumbnail. Okay, So this is very easy. Don't forget to add all your stitching allowance. So let's go ahead and draft out the back pattern. So for the back pattern, it's going to have a zipper. It's just like a basic way of drafting out your back pattern. Okay, the back pattern is not as serious as that. So just roll out your zip allowance. Then after that, you mark out your shoulder divided by 2, input your shoulder slope, and go down by your armhole length, your bust point, your half length, and the full length of this top. Okay, so after doing that, guys, go ahead and divide your bust divided by 4 and connect your armhole like this. So for the neck width, I'm going to use 3 inches. For the neck depth, I'm going to use 1 inch. So if you have a bigger neck, you can go ahead and make use of 1.5 for the back neck depth. Okay, so after doing that, just go ahead and connect your curve like this. Just go ahead and connect it like this. So after connecting, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to connect my shoulder slope like this. So on the chest line, I went ahead to divide my bust by 4, place it there. Then on the bust point also, what you have on the chest line is what you're also going to mark on the bust point. So on the waist area, also divide your waist by 4 like so. Then the back is going to have a dart. Then you just add 1 inch for that at the waist area. Okay, so for the half length of the back, I forgot to remove the 1 inch, so I'm going to just subtract the 1 inch from the half length. Then I'm going to subtract that 1 inch for the bust dart. So we are going to have 15.5 for the half length. Then from the half length, I went down by 5.5 inches. Remember, that is what we took for the side of the front, okay, while we're drafting. So this is it, guys. After doing that, I'm going to just mark this part out. So on the waist area, again, I went ahead to take my waist measurement divided by 4 and add 1 inch for that. Then from the waistline, I'm going to go down by 8 inches, which is going to serve as my hip line. So this is going to serve as a guide for me to have my body shape for the back. Okay, so I'm just going to rule this with my pen. So after that, now I'm going to just divide my hip measurement by 4 and I'm going to place it there. Then I'm going to just connect all the points together like so. So just watch what I'm doing. So after connecting the points together, so I'm going to just cut it out from these 5.5 inches I went down. So the next thing now to do is to go ahead and input your nipple to nipple divided by 2 on this part, my bust span. So just input it on the lines and connect it so that we can have our dart. So you can use this basic back pattern like this for the back, okay? Or if you like, you can just go ahead and create like a princess dart on the back area. Okay, if you like, just use it this way with the dart. You can see me creating this dart. So this is it. You can just use it this way, or you can just create a princess dart at this back. Remember, there's difference between princess dart bustier and a princess dart. Okay, so this one is just the dart, it doesn't have a bustier. So after doing that, go ahead and cut it out. After cutting it out, this is what we have. So that means we have 2 pieces for the back now. So if you want it this way, you can just cut it out like this and you are going to have 2 pieces for the back, or you can just make it 1 piece by using just the normal back pattern. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut out the collar. Remember, the collar is a turtleneck collar, or you can use a bishop collar. Okay, for the back, go ahead and measure out the back neckline, because the zipper is going to go all the way to the collar area. So I'm going to just measure from the zip area all the way to the neck width of the back. So after doing that, go ahead and also measure out what you have for the front by folding it into 2 like this. Measure it out what you have from the neck depth to the neck width of the front. After doing that, go ahead and join the front and the back neckline together, as you can see. Then you're going to get a paper. So what I have was 9.5 inches. Then I added ½ inch for stitching allowance to that, making 10 inches. So I'm going to just mark the points. So from that point, go up by 2 inches or 1.5 inches. Okay, so after getting that, now I'm going to get the midpoint of where my neckline stop. So remember, the paper is folded into two, so get the midpoint of where the neckline stopped from the center to the part where the neckline stopped. Okay, just get the midpoint at that part, then connect it like this with a curve. You can see towards that 1.5 or 2 inches you went up initially. You're going to determine how high you want it to be, so you're going to just mark it out. So for me, I marked out 2 inches, so that is how high I want that part to be. I want it to be very high at 2 inches. Remember, stitching allowance is not added at the upper part. Okay, so after that, go ahead and connect all this together and cut it out. So this is how to cut a bishop collar. So if you want to make use of a bishop collar, go ahead and cut it out like this, so you can see what we are having. Add your necessary stitching allowance to the upper part 1/2 inch and the lower part 1/2 inch on your fabric. Now, to cut out a fitted turtleneck, you are going to fold your fabric like this in a triangular way of cutting out a flare. So just fold it into two like that. Then after that, you are going to place what you have for your shoulder of the front and the back together, which is 9.5 inches. Then I'm going to just place it like this in a curving shape like this. You can see, like the way we normally cut our flare. So just place it like that. Make sure you measure it properly, that is actually what you have for the neck area. Okay, and remember to add your stitching allowance of 1 inch to 1/2 inch. Okay, so after doing that, now after getting it properly, you are going to go up depending how high you want it to be. You can make it 1 inch, you can make it 1.5 inches or 2 inches, depending how high you want the turtleneck to be. So after doing that, now just measure it up, then curve it and join the points together. So after that, you cut it out. So after cutting it out, guys, this is what we are having. You can see how fitted it's going to be at the upper part. It's going to sit properly and firmly on the upper part of your neck area. Okay, so let's go ahead and draft out the sleeve. So for the sleeve, you must know how to draft out your basic sleeve before attempting to draft out this particular sleeve. Okay, so go ahead and draft out your basic sleeve. That is what you see me doing. Okay, so we are going to get the cap length, then after that you get your elbow length, you get your wrists length. So on that wrist, you're going to add extra inches after the wrist measurement. Okay, so after the wrist measurement, go ahead and connect all the lines together. Now from that wrist measurement, you are going to go up again by 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Okay, so just go up by 1.5 inches from your wrist line. Okay, so after that, that is on that new line, now is where you're going to insert your wrist measurement divided by 2. So go ahead and input your measurement, your elbow measurement, your armhole measurement, and every other measurement on the lines like so. So after inputting your measurement on that new line, you are going to just take it all the way like this, like an A line, all to the end of the sleeve like this. Go ahead and cut it out. So after cutting this out, guys, the next thing to do now is to stitch up this part. See, from the upper part, that is the armhole area, you stitch it all the way to that new line of the wrist part that you went up by 1. That is where your stitches is going to stop. The remaining parts from that point all the way to the end of the sleeve is going to be left open. So this sleeve is going to have a lining. That means you are going to line it up. Color of the lining you are going to use for the inside is going to be purple. Then the outer color you are going to use is going to be pink. So after that, you are going to just raise this part up and you're going to tack it. So when you put it on, it's going to look like this. So this part I raised up is where you are going to tack, so that the purple lining is going to be obvious, is going to show out. Okay, so that is the little trick on achieving this sleeve. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. Don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, like and share this video, and also turn on your notification bell so that when I post a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Thank you to my new and my returning subscriber. Bye.